Hi everyone, I'm Gary Fisk, Professor of Psychology at Georgia Southwestern State University. In this video, what we're going to do is use PSPP software to do some very basic descriptive statistics analysis. This assumes that we've already got our data files created. We've got our very basic class gradebook here, and then we'll look at 3 different commands that you could use to do some descriptive statistics. Okay, so I've already opened my data file here. This is the same one that I collected or I created at an earlier stage. It's got last name, first name, sex, and 2 different exam scores in it. All right, so let's do some basic descriptive statistics then. If I go to the Analyze menu and then look at the Descriptives group, there's some different commands under here, frequencies, descriptives, and so on. I'm going to select Analyze Descriptives and then the Descriptives one here. Okay. All right, so what this does is it comes up with a dialog box like this. What I have to do now is select the variables that I want to use. I'm going to look at the exam scores here. And I've got to move them over to the right to this empty field called variables. Okay. So doing that step informs PSPP about which variables I want to analyze. And then from the statistics menu here, I can choose which ones I want. I can choose as many or as few variables as I want to analyze. There's also some other options down here that are possibilities. Okay, so I'm going to click OK here. And now here it is in our output. You can see what it looks like. Creates a little table of descriptive statistics. Each variable has a row in the table, and then we've got all the statistics for that variable: mean, standard deviations, range, and so on. Okay, so it's pretty easy, right? In some ways, I think this is much easier than using spreadsheets like Excel and such. I didn't have to put in any special codes or ranges or anything like that. I could just choose from the menu, click on the variables I wanted, and get the statistics I'm after. Okay. All right, so that's one feature. Let's look at another basic descriptive statistics kind of feature in PSPP. If I go back to the Analyze menu in descriptive statistics, there's another one called frequencies. So let's try that one and see what that one's like. What frequencies are going to do is they're going to count up how many times does each score occur. It'll give us those frequencies and also percentages for each one of those scores. So once again, you can see how it looks here. I've got all my variables listed over here on the left. I'm going to let's go with our sex variable for this one. We coded people as male, female, or non-binary. I'll select that and move it over here. We don't really need means and such for this. We're just going to count up how many people are in each group. It even gives us an option to make some charts like this. You can make a pie chart, bar charts, and so on. So if we click the charts button and check this box, we'll get a pie chart out of that. Okay, so let's click OK here and see what we get out of that. Okay, once again, now we have to look at our output menu. You can see first there's a table here. The table is breaking it down. We've counted up 3 males and 1 female in our very small class. It gives you the percentages for those. It also breaks it down in terms of cumulative percentages and so on. It can give us a basic pie chart for doing that. Pretty simple stuff. Notice that the labels here are important. We set those up in the variable view of the data editor. If you don't code those 1s, 2s, and 3s there right on the value labels, they won't show up properly here. So it's important to get those variables coded right before you do your analyses. Okay, so that's another one we could do. Let's look at a third possible option. There's crosstabs here. Crosstabs is like the frequencies analysis, but it will sort based on 2 variables. For example, we could sort on sex and political party affiliation or something like that. we could get a breakdown, and it would do it by those two classifiers rather than just one. Let's look at a last one here, things we could do with this. There's a graphs menu here, and it's got a few basic graphing choices for us. Let's try a histogram graph of our data. All right, so we can select that here. Once again, you see how the dialog works. We got all our variables listed over here on the left side. We have to choose which variables we want to use. I'll use exam 1 for this, and then we'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to press OK. Let's look at the output now to see what the output looks like. And here's our histogram. Now we only had 4 cases in this one here, so we've got a square-looking histogram out of that. But you can see we got a nice graph. It was pretty easy to do. It's got the scores over here on the x-axis, and then the frequency of those scores over there on the y-axis. It even includes a few other basic descriptive statistics measurements. Now, if we want to save these graphs, we can go to print and then export. If you save this as text, it won't save these very well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export these as a PDF file, right? I'll call it PSPP output or something like that. And I'll end it with .pdf on the end. That will tell the computer to, or tell the software to create an Adobe Acrobat portable document format file. Okay, so I'm going to save it there on my desktop. Right, click Save, and it should create a PDF file for me. So, okay, well, that's all there is to it. I hope that was interesting and useful for you. As you can see, it's pretty easy to create basic descriptive statistics in PSPP. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.